Chapter number 1, Matter in our surroundings. As we look at our surroundings, we find a large number of things. They all in different shapes. All things in this universe are made up of material, which scientists have named matter. The air we breathe, the food we get, it clouds, stars, plants, animals, and stones. Even a small drop of water or a particle of sand, everything is matter. We can also see that all the things mentioned above occupy a space. That is, they have mass and volume. Since many years ago, human beings have been trying to understand their surroundings. Earlier Indian philosophers have classified the matter in the form of five basic elements which are called Panch Tattva. They are five: air, earth, sky, and water. According to them, all things living or non-living, were made up of all these five basic elements. Ancient Greek philosophers had also arrived at the same classification of matter. In the modern days, scientists have discovered two types of classification of matter, which is based on chemical nature and their physical properties. In this chapter, we are going to learn about matter based on its physical properties. Chemical aspects of matter will be taken up in the next chapters. Physical nature of matter. Matter is made up of particles. Two schools of thought prevailed regarding the nature of matter for a long time. One school believed matter to be continuous like a block of wood, while the other thought that matter was made up of particles like sand. Let us do an activity to decide about the nature of matter. If it is continuous of a particulate, activity 1, take a beaker of 100 milliliter, fill half of it with the meter water and mark the level of water. With the help of a glass rod, dissolve some salt or sugar. Find any charge in the level of water. What do you find? What has happened to the salt? To the salt, where does it disappear? Does the water level change? In order to give the answer was three questions, we need to use flowing idea. Matter is made up of particles. What was a spoon contained? Salt or sugar? Has now spread it throughout water. This is illustrated in the given figure. How small are these particles of matter? Activity 2. Take 100 milliliter of water in a beaker and dissolve 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate in it. Take out about 10 milliliter of this solution and mix it into 90 milliliter of clear water. Now take out approximately 10 milliliter of this solution and mix it into another 90 milliliter of clear water. Keep diluting the solution like this 4 to 7 times. What is the change in water's color? Above activity shows that just a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water. About 1000 later, it means that there must be millions of tiny particles in just one crystal of potassium permanganate, which keep on dividing into a smaller and smaller particles. At last, a stage comes when the particles cannot divide further into a smaller particles. Above activity can be performed using 2 milliliter of Dettol instead of potassium permanganate. The smell can be observed even on a repeated dilution. The particles of matter are very small, too small that it's beyond our imagination. Characteristics of particles of matter. Particles of matter have a space between them. In above activities, we found that particles of Dettol, salt, sugar, or potassium permanganate got evenly distributed in water. In the same way, when we make tea, coffee, or lemon, nimbu, pani, particles of one type get into the spaces between particles of the other type of matter. It shows that there is enough space between two particles of matter. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Activity 3. Put an lit incense stick in one of the corners of your classroom. How close do you have to go near to this stick so as to get the taste of its smell? Now light this until incense stick. What happens? What happens? Do you get some smell sitting at a distance? Note your observations one by one. Activity 4. Take two glasses or beakers and fill them with water. Put a drop of ink of red or blue color slowly and carefully along the sides of the first beaker. In the same way, put the honey in the second beaker. Leave them undistributed for some time in your house or in one corner of your class. Note your observations. What do you see immediately after mixing the drop of ink? What do you find immediately after mixing the honey drop? How many hours or days does it take to spread color of ink evenly throughout the water? Activity 5. Put a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanent into a glass containing hot water and another of cold water. Do not make any movement in the solution. Allow the crystals to go down and settle at the bottom. What do you find just above the solid crystal which is in the glass? What happens after some time? What does it suggest about the particles of liquid and solid? Does the rate of mixing change with the change of temperature? Why and how? From the above three activities 3, 4 and 5, we can get the following calculations. Particles of matter possess the kinetic energy by the continue moving. With the rise of temperature, particles move faster. So we can say that as the temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the particles also increases. From these three activities, we find out that particles of matter intermix on their own with each other by getting spaces between the particles. They do so. This intermixing of particles of two different kinds of matter on their own is called diffusion. We also find out that diffusion becomes faster after heating. What is the reason of this action? Particles of matter attract each other. Activity 6. For play this game, go in the field and make 4 groups and 4 human chains as described. The first group of students should also each other from the back and lock arms just like bihu dancers. The second group of students should hold hands to make a human chain. To form a chain, the third group should touch each other with only their fingertips. Now the fourth group should run around the 3 chains and try to break them one by one into many small groups as possible. Which one of the groups was the easiest to break? Why? If we take each student as a particle of matter, then in which group of students the particles held each other with the maximum force? Activity 7. Take a piece of chalk, a rubber band and a iron nail. Try to break them in pieces by hammering, cutting or scratching. In the above 3 substances, do you find the particles are held near each other with greater force? Activity 8. Take some water in a container and try to cut the surface of water with the help of your fingers. Were you able to break the surface of water? What could be the reason behind the surface of water remaining together? From the above 3 activities 6, 7 and 8, we find out that matter particles have a force acting between them. This force keeps them together. The strength of this force of affection varies from one kind of matter to another. States of matter. Observe various types of matter around you. What are the different states of matter? We observe the different types of matter around us exist in 3 different states: glass, liquid and solid. These 3 states of matter arise because of the variation in the characteristics of the particles of matter. Let us learn about the properties of 3 states of matter. The solid state. Activity 9. Make a collection of these articles: a pen, a needle, a book and a piece of thread. Draw the shape of these articles in your notebook by moving a pencil around them. Do all these articles have a definite shape, distinct boundaries and a fixed volume? What happens if they are pulled, hammered or dropped? Are these capable of diffusing into each other? Are you able to compress them by applying force? All the above articles are examples of solids. All these have a different shape, distinct boundaries and fixed volumes and negligible compressibility. So solids show a tendency to maintain their shape whenever subjected to outside force. Which may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape before they are rigid. Consider the following: a rubber band, can it change its shape on stretching? Is it a solid? Sugar and salt, when kept in different jars, they just take the shape of the jar. Are they solid? A sponge, it is a solid, yet we are able to compress it. Why? All the above all the above are solids, as a rubber band changes in its shape under force and retains the same shape when the force is removed. On applying excessive force, it breaks the shape of each individual. Sugar or salt crystal remains. Salt crystal remains the same whether we take it in our hand, put it in a plate or in a jar. A sponge has a large number of minute holes in which air is trapped. When we press it, the air is expelled out and it gets compressed. The liquid state. Activity 10. Collect some water. Cooking oil, milk, juice and cold drink. Also collect containers of different shapes. Write at 50 milliliter mark on each container using a measuring cylinder. What will happen? What will happen if above liquids are spilled on the floor? Measure 50 milliliter of each liquid and transfer this into different containers one by one. Does the volume remain the same? Does the shape of the liquid remain the same? When you transfer the liquid from one container to another, does it flow easily? From above activity, we calculate that liquids do not have fixed shape but have a fixed volume. They acquire the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids change shape and follow, so they are not rigid but can be called fluid. In activities 4 and 5. In activities 4 and 5, we observed that solids and liquids can diffuse into liquids. The gases from the atmosphere diffuse and dissolve in water. These dissolved gases, especially oxygen and carbon dioxide, are virtual for the survival of aquatic plants and animals. Thus, we may conclude that solids, liquids, and gases can diffuse into liquids. The rate of diffusion of liquids is higher as compared to solids. This is due to the fact that particles in a liquid state move freely and have greater space between each other than that of particles in the solid state. The gaseous state, you must have observed a balloon seller filling a large number of balloons from a single cylinder of gas. Ask him how many balloons is he able to fill from one cylinder and which gas does he have in the cylinder. Activity 11. Take 3 100 milliliter syringes and close their nozzles by rubber corks. Leaving one syringe untouched, remove the pistons of other two syringes. Fill water in the second and pieces of chalk in the third. Insert the pistons back into the syringe and try to compress the content of all the three syringes by pushing their pistons. In which case, was the piston easily pushed in? What do you conclude from your observations? We observe that gases are highly compressible as compared to solids and liquids. The liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) cylinder that we use in our home for cooking, or the oxygen supplied to hospitals in cylinders, is highly compressed. Compressed natural gas (CNG) is used as fuel in vehicles in these days. Due to its high compressibility, large volumes of a gas can be compressed into a small cylinder and transported easily. We can guess what is being cooked in the kitchen without even entering there by the smell that reaches our nostrils. The particles of the aroma of food mix with the particles of air and reach us and even further away. The smell of hot cooked food reaches us in seconds. Compare it with the rate of diffusion of solids and liquids. Because of a high speed of particles and large space between them, gases diffuse very rapidly into other gases. In gases, the particles move about randomly at high speed. Due to this random motion, the particles hit each other and also the walls of the container. The pressure exerted by the gas on the walls of the container is because of this force exerted by gas particles per unit area. Can matter change its state? We know that water can exist in three states of matter: solid as ice, liquid as water, gas as water vapor, What happens to the particles of matter during the change of states? How does this change in the state take place? Let us see. Effect of a change of a temperature. Activity 12, take about 200 gram of ice in a beaker and hang a laboratory thermometer in such a way that its bulb is in contact with the ice. Again, note down the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Record your observations for this conservation of a solid to liquid state. Now put a glass rod in the beaker and heat with continuous stirring till the water starts boiling. Note down carefully the thermometer reading when most of the water has vaporized. Record your observations for the conversion of liquid water to the gaseous vapors state. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of the particles increases. Due to this increase in kinetic energy, the particles start vibrating with greater speed and overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. Hence, the particles have their fixed positions and start moving more freely. At a certain stage, the solid metals and is converted to a liquid. The minimum temperature at which a solid starts melting to become a liquid at atmospheric pressure is called its melting point. Their melting point of a solid indicates the strength of the force of attraction between its particles. The melting point of ice is 273.15 K. The process of melting, that is change of a solid state into liquid state, is also known as fusion. When a solid melts, its temperature remains the same. So where does the heat energy go? During the experiment, the temperature of the system does not change for some time after the melting point is reached till all the ice melts. This happens even though we continue to heat the beaker. This heat is used up in changing the state by overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles, as this heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing any rise in temperature. It is thought that it gets hidden into contents of the beaker and thus called the latent heat. The word latent means hidden. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as the latent heat of fusion. Therefore, particles in water at 0 degrees Celsius to 273 Kelvin have more energy as compared to particles in ice at the same temperature. When we continue to supply heat energy to water, its particles start move faster at a certain temperature. A stage is reached when the particles have enough energy to break the forces of attraction of each other and get free. At this temperature, the liquid starts changing into gaseous state. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. Particles from the bulk of the liquid gain enough energy to change into the vapor state. For water, this temperature is 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin. You can define the latent heat of vibrations in the same way as we have defined the latent heat of fusion. Particles in steam or water vapor at 373 Kelvin or 100 degrees Celsius have more energy than water at the same temperature. The reason is that particles in steam have observed extra energy in the form of latent heat of vaporization. So we conclude that the state of matter can be changed by changing the temperature. Substances around us change state from solid to liquid and from liquid to gas and on applying heat. But there are some substances that change directly from solid state to gaseous state and vice versa without changing into the liquid state. Activity 13. Take some powdered camphor or ammonia chloride in a china dish. Put an inverted funnel over the china dish. Fix a cotton plug on the stem of the funnel. Now hit it slowly as so in figure and observe what do you conclude from the above activity. A change in which a solid changes directly into gaseous state without changing into liquid state in called sublimation, and the direct change of a gas to solid without changing into liquid is called deposition. Effect of a change of pressure. We know that the difference in various states of matter is due to the difference in the distances between the constituent particles. What happens when we start putting pressure and compressed gas enclosed in a cylinder? Gases can be liquefied by applying pressure and reducing temperature. Have you heard of a solid carbon dioxide CO2? It is stored under high pressure. Solid CO2 gets converted directly to gaseous state on decreasing pressure by 1 atmosphere without changing into liquid state. That is why solid carbon dioxide is also known as a dry ice. Hence pressure and temperature determine the state of a substance, whether it will be solid, liquid or gas. Evaporation is heating or change in pressure is always needed for changing the state of matter. Can you give some examples from everyday life where change of state from liquid to vapor takes place without reaching the boiling point of the liquid? Water, when left uncovered, slowly changes into vapor. Wet clothes dry up. How? We know that particles of matter are always are always are always moving and are never at rest at a given temperature. In any solid, liquid or gas, there are particles with different amounts of kinetic energy. In liquids, a small fraction of particles at the surface having higher kinetic energy is able to break down the forces of attraction of other particles and gets converted into vapor. This phenomenon of changing of a liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Factors affecting evaporation. Let us understand this with an activity. Activity 12. Take 5 milliliter of water in a test tube and put under a fan or it near a window. Take 5 milliliter of water in an open china dish and put it under a fan or near a window. Take 5 milliliter of water in an open china dish and put it inside a cupboard or on a shelf in your class. Record the room temperature and the time or days taken for the evaporation process in the above cases. Repeat the same activity on a rainy day and record your observations. So what do you conclude about the effect of a surface area, temperature and wind velocity speed on evaporation? Now scientists talk of 5 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Bose-Einstein's condensate (BEC). Plasma, this state consists of super energetic and super excited particles in the form of ionized gases. The neon sign, the neon sign, the neon sign bulbs and fluorescent tube consist of plasma. A neon sign bulb contains neon gas and a fluorescent tube contains helium gas or some other gas. The gas gets ionized. That gets charged when electrical energy flows through it. This charging up creates a plasma glowing inside the bulb or tube. The plasma glows with a special color depending on the nature of a gas present in them. The sun and the stars glow because of the presence of plasma, which is created in stars because of a very high temperature. Bose-Einstein condensate. In 1920, Satyendra Nath Bose, Indian physicist, had hoped some calculations for a fifth state of matter. Building on his calculations, Albert Einstein predicated in a new state of matter. The Bose-Einstein condensate (BEC), named after both scientists in 2001. Eric A. Cornell, Wolfgang Cottrell, and Carly women of USA received the Nobel Prize in Physics for achieving Bose-Einstein condensation. The BEC is formed by cooling a gas of extremely low density, about 100,000 the density of a normal air, to super low temperature. To get more information on these fourth and fifth states of matter, you can log on to .com. You must have observed that the rate of evaporation increases with an increase of surface area. Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. If the surface area is increased, the rate of evaporation also increases. For example, we spread clothes for drying them. An increase in temperature. With the increase in temperature, more number of particles get enough kinetic energy to break down the forces of attraction and go into the vapor state. a decrease in humidity. The amount of water vapor present in air is called humidity. The air cannot hold more than a definite amount of water vapor at a given temperature. If the amount of water in air is already high, the rate of evaporation decreases and increase in wind speed. Clothes dry faster on a windy day due to reason that with the increase in wind speed, the particles of water vapor move away with the wind, decreasing the amount of water vapor there. How does evaporation cause cooling? The liquid keeps on evaporating in an open vessel. Hence, the particles of liquid absorb energy from the surroundings to regain the energy lost during evaporation. These absorptions of energy make the why we feel cool on pouring some acetone nail polish remover on our palm. When we pour some acetone or on our palm, its particles gain energy from our palm or surroundings and evaporate, resulting the palm to feel cool. After a hot sunny day, we sprinkle water on the roof or open ground because the large latent heat of vaporization of water helps in cooling the hot surface. Why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? We perspire more during summer because of the mechanism of our body which keeps us cool. We know that during evaporation, the particles at the surface liquid gain energy from the body surface or the surroundings and change into vapor. So the heat energy liquid liquid the equal to the latent heat of evaporation is absorbed from the body, causing the body to feel cool. Cotton, being a good absorber of water, absorbs the sweat and exposing it to the atmosphere for easy evaporation. Why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of a glass containing ice called water? We see water droplets on the outer surface of water of the tumbler containing ice cold water because the water vapor present in air on coming in contact with the cold glass of water loses energy and gets converted to liquid state, which is in, which is in as a droplet or the surface of water.